Que pasa, everybody? How you doing? Sorry I didn't get here yesterday. There's Jackie wants to say hey. I just threw the balls with them, so there. I'm the giver of balls. Do not forget, so they could play and have a good time. First of all, I want to. Oh, I was supposed to go yesterday, but I ended up just being. It's my one day off, even though I had to do readings in the morning with the freebies for the ones who won. I was just sort of like, I don't know, out to lunch. But today I'm feeling it, my friends. I'm feeling the empowerment, the love. You guys rock. I accidentally somebody asked what kind of job do you have? Is it unusual? You know, on Twitter how they do that. And I mentioned that I'm a psychic medium and who knew, right? I never lived my life or made my life in doing anything like that. I didn't mention that I had been a nurse previously and that, I make a living without doing readings. And of course, I got the, you know, fraud, fake. You people are fake. You people are this. You people are that. You people. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize there was a PhD behind your name, Mr. Two Followers. But, I didn't get caught up in the chaos, although I wanted to be very verbal, but I did not. You know what I said? Probably pissed him off. I said, well, you have a right to your opinion, and this is something that seems to give comfort to others. So I forgive you. And then I block them. Block. It's like anyone that comes on my channel, Dan looks out for me. Anybody says nasty things, block. Okay, so listen, first of all, we have to start with this god awful freezing that's taking place. I have cousins in Texas. You met cousin Sue, a lot of you, and I have a family in Oklahoma. The Comanche tribe's land is in Lawton, and so I'm doing prayers. And right now, their power came back off. Their water stopped, which is weird, but we really have to energetically visualize like a warm air just blowing on them. Apparently, this thing's supposed to last till the end of the week. So, guys, tell me real as best as you can. It'll be gone soon. Okay. Oh, people are mad at the, what's his name? People are mad at Greg Abbott. You know what's pissing people off is the oil places. You can see it's all black, but the oil places have their lights on. I don't know if that's a generator or what. But this wasn't a kind of an Armageddon thing. It was not something they were used to. They weren't set up for it. But this is going to cause Greg Abbott's downfall. The whole grid system needs to be revamped, and this is sort of opening that door. This made people mad. This is interesting. Oh, they're blaming Biden, and he hasn't even been in office for a month. Some people are, not everybody. So we need to pray for them. They're trying to do, this out for this time, this out for, they're trying to do that because I guess a lot of people have electric heaters. It'll be done with by the end of the week, but are people going to be okay? I do see a couple of people exiting their bodies. I worry about the elderly in their homes. I hope people are looking out for others. It's sad, but it's true. They're telling me this is climate related and it has to be addressed because things are going to get worse. Things are going to get worse before they get better. Okay, so I saw that. And then y'all asked me about Representative Kissinger, whose family disowned him because he works with the devil because he voted against Trump. And they said he works with the devil and he's against Lou Dobbs. So needless to say, after I got done laughing, I read what he had to say and he really could care less. He really could care less. He's probably glad that they disowned him because he had to do what was right. By the way, those people, it's going to surprise you, the ones that voted again, for dumping, what's his name? It's definitely going to happen. It's definitely going to happen for them. More people are saying, did you guys see the news today? In one state, now I wish I could remember, 10,000, it was a red state, 10,000 people came out of the Republican Party, 10,000. Only 1,000 something went to the Democratic, but it don't matter. They came out. They decided to be independent or whatever. Because they saw what happened. That's what I'm telling you. You guys are listening to, the news. They like to play it. They like to make a big deal out of it. But I'm going to tell you, this is the beginning of the end of this chaos. It's chaos. And my guys just said, we want you to know we're here to fight for you. This energy will pass. He really thinks he's king for a day. I think his numbers dropped to 31%. So he's desperately trying to make money off people. And I see them still feeding him, but it's almost like he just slowly kind of goes out of it. But I see people, remember I saw tomatoes being thrown? I think that's what's happening. More and more people are stepping away from him. So that brings on the other news about McConnell. Now, I'm wondering if he's going to get on as minority leader or whatever, but McConnell, I always saw him leaving early, and just now some news program said, yeah, he's talking about it. Because he can't bring them together anymore. So I wonder if they'll get some Cray in there. If they get a Cray in there, somebody on the news last night, I don't remember who it was, said, yeah, the more Trump's in the picture, the better it is for us. Because there's more sane people out there. So, Biden opened the door for Greg Abbott. What can we do? Is there anything we can do? But I see Greg Abbott. This is going to take him down, you guys. Just like, the virus took down Trump. So, okay. And I have another piece of good news. Anybody watch the news? Somebody wrote on my Twitter. Yeah, well, she's the one I watch for the news. The COVID numbers have been cut in half. Half the amount of people are being infected and half the amount of people are dying. So that's excellent news. So it's slowly but surely, even by the end of next month, you're going to see it dropping. And then they keep trying to feed. This is what I found out, that all these other viruses connected to it, but they said if you have the vaccines, you don't tend to get as sick. So I'm just saying, I feel right now we're going to get a break. That's what I'm feeling. Oh, somebody just said, Susan said, thanks, Linda. You were great spirits today. Thank you. Oh, that's interesting, Becca. Becca asked, is your gift getting stronger or are you just trusting? I'm trusting, especially after, who lost. I was like, oh, hell yes. They've been saying that to us, I'm like, yeah. And it's like, I have faith, but even when that night happened and he was getting all those votes, I was surprised. And then I was like, why? To my guys, why would you have me tell all these people? Because for a minute there, I lost faith. And thanks to my sister and Dan and Revealing Light, she did a video that night that just calmed me. But they were like, how they always do that to me. And it was like, ye of little faith, just wait for it. And I said, dancing in the streets. And boy, were they dancing in the streets. I want to tell you, 2022 is not going to be any picnic for these cray-crays. No picnic. So I just want you to know, I feel that there's no forefront. Something is happening like, oh my God, they're going to make sure they win. No, I don't know. I could be wrong, but I doubt it, because if my guides say it, then it's true. Like that guy that said I was a fraud. And I said, well, that's what the lady said to me from Boeing. When I predicted that plane crash, and I told everybody, the Boeing plane crash, and I told everybody it was a software issue. And she wrote me and said, I've worked for Boeing for 36 years. And I've watched your show, Missy. You're no good. Fraud. And I just want you to know, it was a pilot error. So anyway, too bad she didn't sew. And if it wasn't, I'll eat my hat, but she didn't say anything like that. Anyway, so, okay. Diana wants to ask Lady Lindsay, who said 45 is ready to hit the trail again, as in the campaign trail. Seriously? Oh yeah, he wants the love, but let me tell you some stuff that's going to happen, because my guide showed me earlier. There's some blocking, and I almost feel, because he doesn't have Air Force One, the president. He was living off of us while he was politically. Anyway, he was living off us. So he was using the background. He was using Air Force One. He was using the helicopter. And, he also had to pay for all those extras that went in there. And, he living off the fat of the land. And now it's not so much. And I feel that there's certain towns that he never paid them for being there. So they're not going to allow him in. I saw that. Okay. I don't care how many people, there's a group of people, there's people that love him, but it's not enough people. There's people that love him, because a good portion of those people that walked to the Capitol for him are done with him. Because I guess they figured they'd get a pardon right down the middle. But they're done with him. Okay. Christy says, I want to know what is in Ted Cruz's future. Texas needs new. Yeah, absolutely, Christy and John Corn. Listen, this freeze that happened, they're going to really look at Ted Cruz and John. Hold on. Are they going to have to go? Yes. My guides just told me to tell you guys, you just need to know that the ugliness will be going along with Trump. It's like we're flushing something down the toilet. Ted Cruz is a joke. He really can spin things. Anyway, and Trump, thank God he doesn't have Twitter, but he loves to think I won, but he didn't win. 57 voted guilty, 43 voted not guilty. You needed 3/4. How did you win with that? More people thought you were guilty. And a portion of the United States of America. And listen, there will be criminal issues coming up. So, and I even see Giuliani going down. Okay. So my question is, your gift getting stronger, or are you just trusting more? And I didn't finish that question. Yes, I'm getting stronger. I'm definitely getting stronger. And because of trusting more. When that thing happened the night of the voting, and I, for a minute, got scared. And then it was like, how could I ever not trust you again? And it is a matter of interpretation. That's why it's very important for those of you out there wanting to do this type of work, to clear your mind, even with pendulums. Pendulums, I'm not that good with, because I tend to, think the answer, but they always say, when you're doing the pendulum, pretend like you're looking at a water meter or a gas meter. Just look at it. And then when you're concentrating on that, ask the question, and then you'll get the answer. So, okay. Oh my God, Mary Jane. Is it possible to love you more? Go to Twitter, girlfriend. That's where they don't love me. Well, actually, just some people. I got more, like 236 positives. But these other people, these entrepreneurs, they don't like me. They say it's not true because they have no experience. Oh, how's Ivanka? Fabulous Woman wants to know, how's Ivanka doing these days? Is she in fear? I want you guys to breathe and be whole right now, and don't quit thinking of worry about the future, because we seem to have gotten, right now we're actually in a good place, a better place. except for the freezing in Texas. But breathe, and be grateful for what we do have. But Ivanka, I think Ivanka is upset that her dad did that thing. They didn't. He set it up, but she did. She's part of this, but she didn't realize it was going to be, raging and going into the Capitol and causing all that chaos. She didn't know that's not classy. Putting feces on the wall and stuff. I mean, that was kind of gross. So, yeah, Laura Trump, she ain't nobody. Laura Trump is going nowhere. I'm telling you, Ivanka and Laura can try to run, but they're not going to go. Let me tell you, Florida will turn blue. And Trump didn't win Texas by a landslide. So I just feel people are going to go to the place when Biden, who hasn't even been in office for 30 days, starts getting these things going through Congress, etc. We're on our way, especially when Milton Berle exits. What's his name? McConnell. Okay. So I don't care where they run. Does the other side ever intervene? No, because we have free will. Nana. Because we have free will. It's almost, remember that story, whether you believe in Jesus or not. Remember that story of Jesus telling the Roman leader, the only power you have is the power that my Father gave you. That's the only reason you have it. You would not have it if he did not give it to you. It's all part of the game plan. It's all part of the living purpose. How we approach it, what we do. Look at how powerful we all became. Look at how we decided, no. Gosh, I remember back when those poor kids were being taken from their parents. Rachel Maddow cried on her show. It was like, no, she's an ugly crier too. Just kidding. I should talk like that. So am I. So, we're like, no, this can't be. This cannot be. He just kept getting worse. So we got a taste of it, but by the grace of God, go us, because there's no more with this. Okay. And listen, I still will do the live. I have my own my membership live. And then I'll still do the other live on and off, but it's just for fun. And this type of format with you sending questions works well. Somebody told me I should tell people, when I'm going to do the live and ask for questions might be easier than try to read it. So I'll do that. Oh, Ashley Judd. Thank you, sweetie, darling Lulu. Oh, her name's Lulu. Ashley Judd. Oh, she got hurt bad. God, she got hurt bad. I can feel like her energy, she's trying to keep up a happy look, but she's devastated. Long-term disability. She won't ever be 100%, but she'll do a good job of getting through. I see interviews and things. She might even write a book. That's going to help create, well-being. She'll tell her story. But she's desperately trying to be strong, but she wants to just cry like a baby. She appreciates everything and everybody. Is she still with that husband? Remember they broke up and then they got back together? Let me know. Big wigs in paradise. Do you see any severe tsunami coming in Hawaii shores anytime soon? That and hurricanes are always my biggest fear. Now, there was a huge one that came from the Alaska earthquake. I do see a tsunami coming, but it's not big enough to wipe out towns. I see a tsunami. I see people leaving. You guys got it set up. Hawaii's got it set up. Hurricanes, yes. Not on the big island. It's like something comes through in a smaller, from behind it. There's something else coming through, but I did see a hurricane. I'm telling you, we're going through the change. I've been telling you guys this since I was since I was talking to you years ago, I said, listen, there's some earth changes taking place. It's part of the program. We're shifting. That freezing hadn't happened in I don't know how long, but it hasn't been this bad. This is the worst. Okay. I haven't, Peggy wants to say, I have an old dog in failing health going through that. When do I have to put him down part? Do animals feel sorry for themselves? They don't know they're facing death. They don't comprehend that. When I took Moochie and my dog I had before, um, he got where he couldn't walk anymore. And so, the doctor, and he had all these stones in his bladder, and he was going to need this and that. And he was pretty near 14 years old. So I felt his spirit leave, and he actually came to me. I physically saw that dog. Even when I moved in this house, I saw that dog. When I brought Lulu home from Oklahoma, I sat on, not that couch, it was a different couch. And I said, welcome to your new home. And here comes Moochie walking down that hallway. And I was like thinking for a second, Mooch, what are you? And then I realized, oh my God, you're dead. So I saw that dog so many times. That dog did not want to leave me. But yeah, they don't know they're dying. And then when they're in death, they're free. They don't struggle anymore. So that's what happens with humans too. Sometimes I see people when they pop out of their body, they're like, whoa, whoa. Now, sometimes traumatic death, or even some suicides, sometimes they pop out and they linger because they're shocked they're dead. I see a lot of people looking at themselves in car accidents or an accident of some sort, and they'll be like, what just happened? But they eventually can get over there. Oh, Dolores Cannon. That's so well. Fabulous woman mentioned again about Dolores Cannon. Have I ever tried to read her? And no, I have never tried to read Dolores Cannon. Dolores Cannon. She feels like she had a good sense of humor. She says, because she's very down home. You know what I mean? She just wanted to get the message out as much as she could. Her exit was quick also. But I'm sure she's come to her family because she's saying, oh, it's just as beautiful as I thought. And she's wanting everybody to know she's in class now. She got a lot of information, but her spiritual self is being connected. She came in and did what she was supposed to do. She was a teacher. It's like me. I didn't realize this is what I was supposed to do. I had a dream in the 1980s that someone said to me, you're going to really do something for the world. And I wrote it down, by the way. And in the year 202 or 202, remember that number. It's important, not the year, that number. And then later I thought, Jesus, 2020, maybe that's what it meant. Because I remember seeing 202 and I didn't see the other zero. That's what I wrote down, I think, in my book, in my dream book. I used to have a dream book. Whoa, I might have to publish that someday. I've been with every single famous man around. No, I'm just kidding. So, Dolores. Linda, you have work to do too. Thank you, Dolores. I know that. It's fabulous here. It's like she's ascending. She's ascending. She keeps working at ascending. She's like when she crossed, she wanted to tell her family, I'm okay, but she doesn't even have to deal with the earth anymore. She's not connected to us that way. She's very proud that her books and her tapes and stuff have taken off, but she did her bit. It's like Ruth Montgomery, Edgar Cayce, all of these famous teachers, they're all gathered together. They did what they came for. So she did what she came for. Okay. What Noreen wants to know, please tell us more on Melania. Please tell us more on Melania. there's not much to tell about her because she's a human being who's wasting. I can't judge her because it's not up to me. But energetically, when I look at her, and even some of you guys that I read, I tell you, you're alive, but you're not living right now. That's her. She's alive. She's caught up in her head. She might have been traumatized when she was younger because she feels like that post traumatic stress. I'm going to tell you something I just got. I think that Donald Trump, he can snap at her, but most of the time she gets what she wants. Ivanka's the one that treats her like crap. But see, Trump can't turn on Ivanka. He just can't do it. Oh, yeah. Okay. So they're going to get kicked out of that Mar-a-Lago. It's going to take about a year, though. And then Trump's going to try to run around and get people to pay for him to come to speak, but it's not going to be very good. Trump is just going to start disappearing. And I don't want you to worry about him running again. I truly don't. I don't want to say exactly why I feel he won't run again, but let's just say he disappears. Okay. So Ivanka is alive but not living. Ivanka, spiritually, emotionally, and stuff, she's just not with it. I mean, the big deal was, why didn't she have front page photos on all these magazines? And right away, they're putting Jill Biden, so she's jealous. What does that tell you? Petty. It's not someone you would want to be around. Okay. Sunflower said, earthquakes have been on my mind lately. Maybe it's the one in Japan I was feeling. Anyway, do you see Southern California having, I see, yes, I definitely see Southern California. And you guys, I told you this, like 3 7-pointers and up, no 8 ones, but one was 7.7. I think the 7.7 was off the coast of Japan. And then there was 2 off the coast of Loyalty Islands off Alaska. And then there was, that's why I was thinking maybe that's part of why I have the vertigo, is because of these earthquakes and these shiftings that take place. But yeah, there will be earthquakes in California. I see also north. I'm thinking Oregon, maybe Washington. Good size, but not 8 and 9. Remember, I was in the Loma Prieta, and where because of the World Series, a lot of people weren't on the road, but that freeway crashed. It crashed down. And I was a nurse at the county facility, and they called all of us in. And it was like, it's like 9/11. I don't know if you heard when 9/11 happened, all the doctors were waiting for all the people that were going to come from injury, and it wasn't as many as you would think because they all died, you know. So what happened there was, you'd be surprised. These houses in California can take a lot. I'm getting my house earthquake proofed, June something. Remember, I told you guys the story that the guy came and measured, and they do all this stuff. They bolt the foundation. He said, yes, ma'am, I'll be out here. It takes 3 guys in 1 day. I said, you had me at the 3 guys. So, of course, I'll be fixing lunch. So they're coming out, but yeah. And let me look at her. Her name's Sunflowers. She's a pretty girl. Sunflowers. I think it's more like Sterling said. What's going to happen is it's a good sized one in Central California, but LA is going to feel it. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling that. But once they start in California, it keeps going. So, Jesus, I just got through the fires. And now I'll be rocking and rolling. Okay. Oh, Marion, that's so cool, because my uncle had paranoid schizophrenia. My grandfather had it. He had paranoid schizophrenia. And she said, what do you see for future treatment of mental illness, especially depression and anxiety disorders? Oh my God. I read for so many people who had children that just one day took their lives because they were so anxious and so depressed. And I'm going to tell you, over there, when they get on the other side, it's like they're shocked. It's like they were in a fog down here. So teachings will help them. Teachings. Because if it was up to me, I'd probably already been dead based on my youth. I had a lot of depression. And what helped me was my awakening and being connected. You know, I was never religious, but I felt this power, empowerment that was so all encompassing and loving. And same with Eckhart Tolle. Remember, he was going to commit suicide. And he said he was so depressed and he just couldn't get out of it. And then all of a sudden, something happened, like a light enveloped him. And that's when all those things started coming in. He started writing. And he won a lottery ticket. He was down to his last dollar. I think he won a couple of $100. And then he was able to finish his book. And then his book took off. And there you go. So, you know, if you're supposed to be doing it, you'll do it. Okay. So I will tell you what's going to happen with those who are depressed is as we get wider, instead of the people who call us a fraud, you know, we're not religious zealots either. It's more about getting out of your own way, being the observer of the thinker. And there's some physiological reasons people are depressed. And I do see, I think Sterling might have talked about this, but I do see new medications and stuff that help people. One's almost a natural, feels like it's organic. It's, you know, I was, you know, when I was young, there was troubles. We had the scared about, I was just a little girl when Kennedy was assassinated, but you know, those kind of things stay on your mind. We had the nuclear tests where at school you had to go under your desk like that was going to save you from a bomb. Or they put us in the hallway and made us put our heads down. So these kids that are coming nowadays, you know, a lot of them didn't even want to come. Because some people that I read that have committed suicide, it's like they weren't, even their loved ones will say, actually, in the end, they weren't meant for this world. Well, they were meant to come, but it's just a matter of how to handle it. And they'll have to come back. So you can just keep going if you want. So mental illness, I see some sort of format in a natural, organic way. And I also see being connected to your spiritual self instead of your ego self. Oh, people are asking me about earthquakes. This one said, maybe this is for Spencer. They must have meant maybe this is for Sterling, because I don't know any Spencer. What did Walt Disney have influence from aliens when he thought of Mickey and all those creatures? No. I definitely got a no on that. Nothing to do with the aliens. But it was his purpose and it's what he did, and he loved doing that. He loved bringing joy. Okay. When will we get the 1,400 stimulus checks? I think I answered that the last time. It feels the end of this month, next week. I feel like they're going to get it through within the next week and a half, 2 weeks. Gilda, I like that name, Gilda. It seems to me that Mar-a-Lago being open to members makes the Secret Service detail to 45 much more difficult. Any chance he will have to leave or more? He's going to have to leave because they're going to tell him to get out. The city is already suing him, so he's going to have to leave. And somebody asked Paula, will Stacey Abrams win these are easy. Will Stacey Abrams win the 2022 Georgia governors? And I say absolutely yes. And don't forget my prediction that Florida turns blue. Thank you. Equus. Will President Biden have all needed vaccine? He's got it now. Have you guys watched the news? He's got enough vaccination for everybody. And also, as I told you, the good news is we've cut this in half. There's half the people getting infected and half the amount of deaths. So it's wonderful. Yes, Rebecca. Rebecca said, will Trump be arrested and tried for a criminal court? Absolutely. I don't see him going to jail though. I never did. Maybe it's just too much for him. Maybe that's when he exits stage left. But I definitely feel him sitting. Remember, I'm telling you guys this. I can see the court. I can see the judge. So it's not during this mask thing because nobody's wearing masks. So it probably happened, before the end of the year. But he's so funny because he's like, you can't do that to me. You can't. Did anybody see Muriel's wedding? Remember when the girl went out and said, you can't do that to me. I'm beautiful. I always say that. So, yes, Care Ben asked, you mentioned seeing a couple of disasters in Florida. Are these weather related? It's not COVID related, although COVID has hit Florida hard because of that governor. It's definitely weather related. Definitely. Oh, thank you. Catherine said, have a wonderful day. Okay. Okay, this is interesting. Let's see what this is. Thank you, Linda, for your videos, live and regular. So my question is, how do those on the other side do stuff like fishing, painting, take care of young souls, etc.? I mean, are they like human cells in that dimension and can do physical stuff? I definitely, when I see souls on the other side, sometimes they even show me. This one guy showed me, tell my daughter it's the best fishing ever. So they do fishing. They actually have towns they live in. But the higher you go, the higher your vibrational level goes, it's always a little bit different. And then pretty soon, we're just light. We're like that cocoon. Remember that movie Cocoon? Those light energies that would put on a human form. But it's all vibrational and it's all about love. It's not like falling in love. It's not having to deal with your ego self, see, when some of us first go over, we're probably judging, and we don't realize everything we think goes out there. So you have to stifle yourself and you feel alive over there more so than you did on earth sometimes. And it's very loving and very warm. It's just, that's why a lot of people who crossed over and came back said, no, I don't want to go back, because it's like, this is where it's happening. We get to hook up with family, but it's not always about being with family. And listen, if you haven't found your soulmate in this life, over there's a young girl that crossed that I read, it was an accident. And I saw her, I read for her. She's the one that took my curtain at Angel Heart and threw it across the room when I was reading her father and mother. And do you know that as I was reading her, I saw her actually getting married, but it's not physical marriage like down here, but a connection with her soulmate. She had met her soulmate over there. So she was very happy. That's the thing. It's like Dolores. These people are just you do even more work over there. It's really fascinating, but vibrationally, it depends on how you get over. Some people even go to, and I've told you this before, sometimes, especially in trauma or when people die, especially like hospice and they were full of medications, and so they go over there and they put them, it's actually a fake hospital, but it's spiritually, you think you're in a hospital bed and there's people standing around you and you're like, they even have like doctor and nurses, which are angels. And you're like, well, that's weird. This is weird. Oh, that's my mom. I thought you, and they're around you. And then as you wake up, as you energetically are able to handle that energy, because some people can't handle too much at one time. It can create too much chaos. Then I could see the wall in front of them. So it's like patient, 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 patient. And you're waking up and then you see that wall in front of you that has a window. And then all of a sudden the window disappears and it's almost like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. She stepped out the door and it was all beautiful. So it's like, whoa. Not everybody goes in that hospital, by the way. It depends on the mode of death. But sometimes it's easier for like even atheists or people who are like, you don't have to be religious. You can be an atheist and be a good person. But what I'm saying is if you like thought you were just going to be dead, what is all this, So it's very beautiful over there. And groups can stay together. A lot of people have sacrificed coming in as a Black person. They have gone through several lives, and including the white masters, they come through as a Black person. And there is the Jewish religion was persecuted, have always been persecuted. So I just saw a show, it's a British show. I'll have to let you guys know, I'll forward the link, about these 17 members of a family found in an old well. Okay. So it was like, what? So they figured out they were from 1200 in the UK. I can't remember whereabouts. I don't think it was Scotland, but anyway, 1200. And they started doing DNA and testing babies too, children, and 5 of them all belonged to the same family. And there was a person that was able to, by the bone, some bone that they got with his face, to create his face. It's kind of weird to see a dead person, their face. But they were Jewish. That was the factor. And she even went and saw a woman at a temple and said to her, in the 1200s, would they have persecuted the Jews? And she said, no. And even some people there, history related, said, no. And if a Jewish person died, they always got a proper burial. They would allow the families to come do a proper burial. So no, it's impossible. And then they did the DNA, and they were all of the Jewish tribes. So this is ongoing, and it's so very sad. But eventually, all this is gone, and eventually, we're going to be so intertwined that nobody cares about anything like over there. They don't care where you came from. Somebody mentioned that to me before about March 4th being a second. I looked at it psychically. I got crickets. I'm not getting anything. Okay. Linda, if you know that you're intuitive, how do you develop it further? So Craig, what you do is you just get out of your own way. Take some deep breaths, and like I said, pretend like you're looking at a water meter. Be the observer of the thinker, because what happens is if we interpret, we're messing it up. I'll give you an example. Forgive me for those of you that have heard this before, but I had a woman in front of me and I'm reading her mother, and I described the mother, and she said, yeah, that sounds like my mom. But the woman says to me in my right ear, tell her I can't find my left foot. And I said, oh, okay. Well, I'm thinking, because I'm a nurse, oh, she must have been a diabetic and probably had her left foot amputated. I went to say to the client, was your mother a diabetic? But the woman said to me very clearly, no, tell her I can't find my left foot. So then I just said it. Your mom says she can't find her left foot, and totally waited for her to say, what? And she said, Linda, my mom died in a plane crash, and the only thing they found of her body was her left foot. So, get out of your own way. Try not to interpret. It's like the anxiety of what happened these past years with this president. I mean, there's something over here. We want him to go so bad. I had to worry. I had to stifle myself. I can't be influenced by all this information. I have to, and they've been telling you guys since day one. And I'm going to tell you something else. That 2022 is going to be a surprise. They think just wait till we get in there. Just wait. No, people are turned off by this. They don't like the ugly. So, you guys, the clock struck 2. I have to go somewhere. I have to go party. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I have to go get something from the mail. Okay, so love you all. Take care. I'll be back. Memberships, I'll be posting, those of you who are my members, I do the mediumships on Thursday night. I'll be posting to you. And I'll do another live, maybe Sunday again. And then we got Sterling Sunday too. Okay. Today's only Tuesday and I'm already thinking of the end of the week. All right, you guys, love you all. Take care. Bye.